your relationship with money starts with your beliefs around the subject of money. And most scripts around money fall under one of five beliefs. The first one that's really common, and we've heard it time and time again, money or the love of money as being seen as the root of all evil. So that's when people say things like all the trouble in the world, all the crises, all the problems in the world stem from greed or the love of money. They don't say it stems from the choices people make, but they truly believe that it's motivated solely on money. So, and that's a very common, I think that's a very common belief that, a lot of the problems stem from the love of money. A second very common belief around money is that of lack. There's never enough money, and it's interesting. It doesn't have much to do with how much someone has in their bank account. Rather, it's their language. We can't afford this. There's never enough money. There's never enough money. And then the third common belief around money is that money is going to be like a solution to all your problems. So, and that you hear that when people say things like, well, if I had more money, I would have gone back to school. If I had more money, I would be living with my parents. Well, if I had more money, I would have done this. If I had more money, I would have made different choices. Again, as if money is a solution to all your problems. And quite interestingly is they say that, and yet on the flip side, there's something, they're quite suspicious of people with money. So then that's another belief around money. That's a third common belief around money. A fourth one is money tied very closely to one's self-esteem. And that's when, that's wearing the right clothes, driving the right car, living in the right neighborhood in order to be perceived as being slightly better or more successful or a better human being than someone else. So it's not because you've bought that nice car because the quality is good. Yeah, the quality could be good, but also because you want to be perceived as in some ways being, more successful, or you want it's as your self-esteem is closely tied to how you're being perceived around by family and friends, and you feel that if you've got all these trappings, you will be perceived as slightly better. And it's interesting, even people without those trappings can also look at people with those trappings in that way. And they could see themselves as that. Maybe I would appear better if I had this, if I had that, if I was living there. So listen to yourself again. And you know that the advertising industry obviously plays to this, right? So if you've got you've got a fancy car, whatever it is, you'll look better. And finally, the fifth very common belief around money is that money's got to be really worked for. So it's a deservedbility. You've got to do certain things to deserve the money you get. Work hard, or you feel, unless you do these things, you're never good enough. So, and that also is very, very, very popular, a very common belief, especially in North America. And so I challenge you to listen to some of your scripts around money, how you talk about money with people around you. And also, if it's very interesting, if you look at your money situation over your lifetime or over the last 10, 20 years, very likely it's tied closely to your beliefs. If you believe that money is the root of all evil, or people with money should be looked at with some degree of suspicion, don't be surprised that you're not, it's not likely you're going to have a lot of money, because there's going to be this disconnect. Quite interestingly enough, people who pursue or want money might also, on the flip side, have this negative idea about money. And so there's these conflicting views. And so you'll see this ebb and flow in your life in regard to money. So that's what I'm challenging you, is to look within yourself to see what is causing the money issue. And quite likely it's not what's outside, it's quite likely what's inside. but it's worth a look.